Howdy, howdy, everybody. How are y'all doing today? Let Miss Courtney click on this and mute it when it goes live, finally decides to, or we're going to have feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure will.
It's being slow.
I don't know why she's doing this now, but she's doing it.
Well, it's being slow because it only does it when you start it.
Y'all bear with us here. Just exit out of it. Oh, there it goes.
Okay.
Mute it.
Good. We're all good.
You mute it?
I paused it. It's good.
Okay, cool. So how's everybody doing today? It is Sunday. We were running a bit late coming into here, but we are here nonetheless, and we got a bunch of folks already in here waiting to see us. And we do have a special guest for y'all today. We'll get to in just a second. Y'all can see him sitting over there looking all spiffy. Got that Alabama sign behind him. Roll Tide.
That's right. Roll Tide.
And we got Mr. Johnny, Cajun Roots reseller, in the house today.
And Johnny, I just want to say thank you for the moon pies. I've already ate half a box. So,
buddy, she tore into them jokers, Johnny, and they was
don't judge.
like that quick. So thank you, Mr. Johnny. We got Mr. Henry in here. Good to have you here, Mr. Larry. Amy's Epic Stuff or Resale is in the house. Robert is in here. Hello. Scott Foster, how you doing? Ray's Forgotten Treasures. Good to have you here as well, Mr. Frank. Key Lime Kisses. Hi, everyone. Good to have you here as well.
It's jumping. There we go.
We got Baritone Man, California, is in the house. I hope it's the good part of California.
Is there a bad part?
BC Eagle, Deb. There is a bad part of California.
Indeed.
Becky's here.
Miss Becky, have you here as well. Nikki T. Wheeler, good to have you here, Miss Nikki T. Goofy Pants.
Okay.
And I believe we caught up on everybody. Mr. Kent Daigle just jumped in here, said, let's go, Rat. Heck yeah, Mr. Wet Movie 1. I used to watch this cat. Go back. Wet Movie 1. He's a DVD collector out in California. And he's new to selling on eBay. He started selling off his collection, but I used to watch him and another guy called Cool Duder a lot to get like out of print movies to be able to look for whenever I go sourcing to sell on eBay. So if y'all are into that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, super knowledgeable. They can see a stack of hundreds of DVDs and pick out the rare out of print ones like that. I mean, super knowledgeable.
Because how many of us walk past that kind of stuff, right?
No kidding. And there's a lot of money in that kind of thing too. Jimmy's in here. I meant to say hello to him as well. Jennifer Hayes, good to have you here too.
Hey, Jennifer.
Okay, so we're
if
good.
y'all didn't know, our guest today is Mr. Dapper Tiger himself, Sam. Not to be confused with Tiger King. However,
I stole it from me. I should have patented it first.
So Sam, I'm sure most of these people know who you are, but for those who don't, why don't you give a quick introduction and who you are, what you do, where you from?
So as Colin said, my name is Sam. I go by the Dapper Tiger on YouTube and Instagram. I appreciate you guys bringing me on. I am a part-time reseller, a full-time dad, and I primarily sell on Mercari. So I've been selling since January, but I've had my account like since 2017. So I've been selling on and off, and then, discovered reselling, discovered the YouTube reseller community, and I decided to jump in and start making content back in March. So
that's awesome. Awesome, man. So real quick, we got BC Eagle Deb says, just wanted to support the channel. I'm not feeling well, so can't stay long. Thank you so much for the super chat, and I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Hoping it's not the C word going around or nothing too serious. Hope you get better. I mean, that's horrible not feeling good. Sure ain't. Mr. Frank, we got you fixed up. YouTube has been glitchy as heck here lately.
Yep.
Have you noticed that too? Like he said, he lost his wrench. And I know we've had a few people that's happened to. Yeah, we ain't doing it. It's just, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, if you guys ever go in your studio, like I know folks who don't have channels can't see this, but if you go in your studio on a desktop, they'll tell you known issues. So they've been trying to recover a lot of missing data across May and July, I think. There's a couple of missing dates.
Yeah, I don't know what's going. I noticed, people have been having a sub count problem.
Yeah, yeah,
A lot of our videos, the views freeze. Like it'll get up, like say 600, and the
yeah.
view count will freeze. But on the real time reporting, it'll be like 900. So it's not like those
I
two aren't
just,
getting up.
I just think YouTube just can't handle your awesomeness.
Mr. Sonny is in here.
Yeah.
Good to have you here as well. Las Vegas Thrift. Before we jump into this deep dive interview with Mr. Dapper Tiger here, I want to show y'all something real fast. I got it yesterday in the mail from Mr. Rev Resale and Miss Nikki T, and I think it is the awesomest something I've ever seen. Okay, y'all ready? I'm just going to show it real quick because I can't wait. Ba-bam.
Oh, man.
Check that out. Redneck
awesome.
Resale. They made the A an Alabama A.
Roll Tide.
I'm pretty sure DC Sales made this. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I had to ask Rev and Nikki T, but thank y'all so much for this, David.
That's
and
so
Nikki.
awesome.
I mean, that is amazing. Ain't that amazing?
That's sweet.
Sure did. So thank y'all so much for that. If y'all are still in here, y'all will be seeing that in the future video coming up, along with some moon pies.
She's just got vertigo and nausea.
Oh, vertigo. That's horrible.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Mike is in here.
Okay. Good to have you here, Mike. So, Sam, Storage Auction Rookies is in here. They said hello to you, Sam.
Hey.
So, Sam, you say, what did you do before you started the reselling in YouTube?
I run a little farm out of my apartment. So basically right around like December, like Christmas time, like Christina was like super pregnant, and it got to the point where she couldn't really work anymore. So that's when we started kind of looking into reselling to kind of add a little, support us while she's not working. So
I hear you. What about prior to that? What was you doing?
Well, before all this, so I am a retired doctor of physical therapy. I specialize in sports medicine. So my first job out of college was the rehab consultant for the University of Alabama. And,
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. And then and I grew, and while I was down there, I kind of grew the practice. I was all over the place. I helped out in West Alabama University, did a little stint in Birmingham, like where all the pro guys go. So that was nice. It was cool for, especially being new out of school, like getting to work with like pro guys and then seeing these young guys, move on and go to the NFL. So it was neat.
Awesome. That is awesome, man.
Yep.
Super awesome. I just bought at Alabama last week. Could you and Miss Courtney autograph it for me? Heck yeah, we can.
That's awesome.
Kent wants you to define super pregnant.
Super pregnant? Where it was just like, she was working in mortgages, so she would have to sit for a while and like do data entry. And she was like getting nauseous kind of like every 20, 30 minutes, sitting, long positions just took, just were uncomfortable. Sitting wasn't good, standing wasn't good. And then she's at an office, she wanted to lay. So I was like, just bring a blow-up mattress.
Super pregnant means she just wasn't pregnant.
She was
had
like
the
what?
symptoms along with it, and
Yeah.
She was probably on like close to the end though, wasn't she? Like seventh trimester.
Yeah.
I mean,
Waddling.
third trimester.
Yeah.
If anybody has specific questions y'all want to ask Mr. Sam, make sure to put them in all caps or something so we can see them and we'll get to them. But we want to dive a little bit into Mercari, and I know Sam has influenced a lot of people to sell on Mercari, including our very own Miss Nikki T and my brother's wife, Miss Amber.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what made do you list on eBay at all, or are you strictly Mercari?
I list things that I can't really list on Mercari or that aren't really worthwhile to list on Mercari. So food items, you cannot list food on Mercari, so I'll list it over on eBay.
We tried that with that coffee.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, so don't get yourselves in trouble. If you have listed food and you haven't gotten busted yet, just be careful, because there are, I don't know, it's like I call them the Mercari hall monitors. Like they're just like searching, waiting for you to put that forbidden product on to report you. So just be careful with that.
We had that time.
Yeah.
And then like other things, anything that's like under like $9. So I kind of picked this up from Rev Resale and doing your lower cost sports cards. When I like got caught up in that like hype, I picked up some sports cards, and I have some good ones. The higher price ones I put up on Mercari, but anything after under $9, you can't really promote. So it's hard to get it to trend up. So I at least can promote it a little bit on eBay.
Yeah. Yeah, I've tried to sell on Mercari once before. I made an account. I sold like one thing, and it was just too much going into it at that time. It was like right after they first started. But I think, and you could be onto something too. What do you think the demographics are on Mercari versus eBay? What items would do better on Mercari versus eBay?
Yeah.
And that kind of sense.
Well, off the bat, I think a lot of people will tell you video games and toys. So it definitely appeases to a younger crowd. I would say anywhere from like 35 down to 18. So and what reason why I stopped there is you have to have a bank account in order to actually have a Mercari account to buy and sell. So so as a buyer, you're protected that way, and as a seller, you're protected that way because you have Mercari as the middleman. And because it's on the phone, most of your younger demographic is on the phone. Very mobile heavy. So it's appeasing to that crowd. It's the same. If you guys are familiar with Robinhood, the trading app.
Yeah, I am a little. I've seen it around the top.
It's same thing. It appeals to a younger demographic who are mostly on their mobile device. So you're just capturing that market.
So if you had like some vintage stereo equipment, like a transceiver or something, or you had some vintage cameras, do you think them would do better on eBay with the older generation or Mercari?
I think it would probably sell faster on Mercari, believe it or not, just because of the ease of purchase. So there's, I don't know what the competition is like. Let's say like you got like a Sansui receiver, you threw it up on there, and I have a feeling that you probably, at least as a seller, I feel like you would do better, because you don't have to give up the 3% of fees to PayPal. If you don't want to deal with the shipping stuff, you can just, put in the weight. Mercari has a flat rate shipping, process that you can, enter in. It's not the cheapest, that's for sure. So there are cheaper ways to go around that, but, you keep more of your money. You don't have to really worry about the shipping. They figure it out for you. You just got to make sure you put in the weight and the dimensions. And like I said, it's easier for someone to buy something from you.
Yeah, that makes sense. Can you hold on? Let me say hello to Flippin' Mama 5 and Out Country in here, Miss Debbie Burns. Good to have y'all here as well. And you got to be kidding. Let me ask you a question on when you do your shipping on like I know we sell on Poshmark, and for Poshmark purchases, everything is priority mail. Okay, and it's like it don't matter if it weighs 11 ounces or up to 5 pounds. It costs the buyer the exact same amount.
Unless you have
can you link, like, just do free shipping and then link that to like pirate ship, say, so it's not costing you as much shipping?
Yeah, so it's funny because like Mercari, when they restructured their shipping prices and stuff, it now is like anything but priority mail. So anything 16 ounces and under will go first class.
Awesome.
And then from there, you get automatically pushed up to the 2 pound rate. So now you're shipping, you're committing to $10 UPS, and then 5 pounds and up is, I think it's like $12 and up, and then you're going straight FedEx after that. So, So for anybody who, basically if you're going to stick it in a regional A box or priority, your best bet is to factor in the cost and then offer free shipping and then go through pirate ship. So
yeah, that pirate ship can be a lifesaver, especially for them lighter items that there's no other option, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I mean,
an
cubic shipping has saved my butt a few times, you know, on certain things. So
heck yeah, it has. Sure has. So whenever you're listing stuff on Mercari, you say Mercari's the only place you're selling on right now?
yeah.
Not cross-listing those items out to other platforms, just straight Mercari?
I do straight Mercari, and then, you know, I can cross post onto eBay just because it's, you know, I'll do it on my phone. I get nervous about things because it's not as like mobile friendly. I know
Right.
folks do that, so I'll like go back on the computer and just double check my listings, because I've had things where, like, you know, the free shipping glitch got me once. I think one of my first listings, like, it was forcing me into an auction and I didn't want to be in one. So
Yeah. Do you have you ever thought about Amazon? Selling
I
on there?
have, you know, so I sent in some stuff to Amazon. It's slow going, some video games, because I'm right next to a distribution center, so it really doesn't cost me much to get it over there. And then all of, you know, the COVID stuff happened, so, you know, FBA was out the window, and I was doing really well with Mercari, so I just doubled down on that. And then baby happened.
Yeah. Johnny's got a quick question for you. How do you link your Mercari to Pirate Ship?
So you don't necessarily link your Mercari to Pirate Ship. Basically, you have to have a Pirate Ship account. Once you sell something on Mercari, they will provide the person's address and shipping information. You go to Pirate Ship, start a label. There's a whole section. There's like a link on the upper left-hand side that says paste address. You know, paste their address in there. It will auto-populate everything. Double check it to make sure that that Pirate Ship got it right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, enter your package info, all that. And then once you buy your label, you take that tracking, go back into Mercari, confirm the shipment, put in the tracking, and then Mercari takes it up after that. So there's a lot of extra steps. So it's not like once you buy the label, Mercari recognizes it. You still have to buy the label and then tell Mercari what that tracking is, so they can kind of keep track of it. So it's not as friendly as eBay would be, where you can kind of just like buy it and be done with it.
Yeah. What about does Mercari have any kind of international shipping thing set up? Or is
No.
it based?
So they're only in the US. I've been curious about this, like on their website, on a PC or on a desktop, you'll see a Japanese flag on there. So I'm not sure if they like have relations with Japan. At the way that they're growing and scaling up, at least from what I feel with all their like blast marketing that they've been doing. Anybody who's been on YouTube who doesn't have a premium account that resells has probably seen a Mercari ad in the last 3-4 months. So it'd be cool if they went to Canada. You know, that would make the most sense.
Yeah, it would. Canada, I mean, even some kind of simple export rate, and then if they could integrate that in.
Yep.
I was going to show you a picture I seen of eBay's advertisement. Check this out. This is one that popped up on my Instagram. They're advertising for these like private jets.
Yeah.
He's like, that's going after, like, why go after them people to advertise? Advertise, you know, stuff normal people sell.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've noticed about Mercari. I see their ads on TV. And where else have we seen them? I know.
That's all I've seen was on
They
TV.
coming for you, Sam. I heard that.
Yeah. People speed.
But Mercari does a great job of advertising for the platform and pushing things out.
Yep.
And I mean, it's aside from like on Instagram, seeing an eBay ad, I've yet to see one on TV here lately.
I've seen one on TV.
Well, she's seen one on TV, but I ain't. But I mean, Poshmark, Mercari, Amazon's huge into advertising.
Even Etsy.
Kids Minecraft.
Etsy, yeah, I've seen that one a lot.
I just saw an eBay ad like it's like what bit. Especially when Amazon was like, "Oh, we're restricting product," and then you had all these sellers with inventories they're sitting on, and they could totally use the support of a platform to put that money into advertising.
Yeah, 100%. Which I'm open with eBay, I mean, they're switching over now to the managed payments. I think here pretty soon. I signed up for it not too long ago. I'm waiting still. But Mercari and is one of the big ones. Poshmark, they have it set up where all their fees, everything comes out right then. You know what I mean? As soon as the item sells, you don't have to pay a monthly invoice or things like that.
Yeah.
And that's where eBay is shooting themselves in the foot, because you got these cats coming on there and they're selling for a month and then bouncing out, not paying their bill, and then making another account, coming on, selling, bouncing out, not paying their bill. So instead of eBay focusing, you know, on taxing us sellers for fees, you know, and getting more money, and then they're still not doing anything as far as advertising or anything with our money, you know, they could, you know, and they're planning on doing with this managed payments, taking the fees out, you know, as it sells.
Yeah.
And I mean, they need to get back on board. That's one thing I would love about Mercari. I love selling on Amazon. I love selling on Poshmark, but I would love that on Mercari, because at the end of the month, you don't have to worry about fees. You know, it's took out right then. You know exactly your end dollar amount, what you're going to make, how far you need to promote, and things of that nature.
Even just like from the fact of like a storefront fee, you know, and I understand that if you're doing a large amount of business, those store fees don't really matter as far as like, you know, how many items per store. It's like with Mercari, if I want to have 200 items or 2,000 items, it does not matter, because for them, if I'm selling, you know, at a 1% rate and I'm selling 20 items a day, they're still making 10% on those 20 items. They have nothing to complain about.
Right.
Yeah. And it's
there's no like store subscriptions or anything with Mercari. It's just flat, however many items you got, it's the same.
For now, it's just 10%, man. That's all they want. But I would imagine too that if you go through their shipping, they are skimming off the top of their shipping, because it is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
So they are making. I'm pretty confident that's how they're making some of their other money too.
Yeah, there's no telling what's really going on behind the scenes of there. Which I mean, they're getting. I mean, they've grown that from when it first started to now. They're getting in front of a huge number of eyes, all your items, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's always going to be some kind of platforms. You know, eBay ain't going to be around forever. Amazon's not going to be around forever. But there's always going to be somebody that has some sort of
platform,
reselling platform or reselling idea. So is Mercari going to be the next one to come up and knock eBay out the way? I don't know. But I mean, so far they're doing a great job of growing the company, and they're targeting the right demographic of age group people, you know. So I think we haven't seen the near blossoming of Mercari and where it's going to go to, because I mean, in the past year, look how much it's grown.
Yeah, and it's been around since 2013. No,
yeah.
You tell people that and they don't really believe it. Yeah. So, in the little time that I've been in there, I've been in since like 2017, just kind of buying and selling video games, like growing a video game collection. That's literally what I was doing it for. You know, I like video games, so you know, I figured out I can just buy and sell like while I was, you know, practicing, and it was something easy that I could do. You know,
right.
Listing in a video game was nothing, and I take care of my game, so I don't really have to worry about resurfacing a disc or anything like that.
Right. What was we using Mercari for before we sold
Nerf guns?
Well, before that,
the Buzz Lighters, and then we did it for some broken tablets.
No, not selling. What was we doing?
I don't know. You bought
buying stuff.
You bought old stuff.
It used to be a good place to, you know, get stuff super cheap and resell it onto eBay. And I actually got a few Nintendo 64s off of there, and one of them in the boxes up there came from actually Mercari. I mean, you can find people who just, you know, new sellers on Mercari still. It's getting harder to find. That it's a younger generation that never sold online, and they'll throw something up there and you can get it pretty cheap and reasonable. Which I guess that's kind of gone to the way a little bit more now. But with Mercari, you can save your searches. So you can type in keywords and have that saved, and it will alert you as soon as somebody posts something new that matches that.
Yeah.
And that's how we've been able to find some pretty good deals on Mercari.
Mainly wholesale lots.
Yeah, you can, and there's some people doing the wholesale lots on there too.
That's what I look out for. Yeah.
Just type in some keywords and set it to your saved searches and turn on your notifications, And as soon as somebody will post something new in that thing, it'll alert you. And if you're got quick enough fingers, I mean, you can snatch it up pretty cheap usually.
Yeah.
So
so Kent's like, he said something important. eBay still has a traffic, and I compared Mercari to like Robinhood. Just because Robinhood is a broker in stock trading does not mean they knock off a big guy like Charles Schwab. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're totally eating into the market share where they're taking potential customers away, enough so where Charles Schwab is like, you know what? We should probably stop charging these guys more fees and stuff, because we actually have a whole banking side of our business that we make way more money on than charging $2-3 per, buy and sale of a stock. So I kind of see Mercari pushing eBay to reform a little bit, and that's what's good about the competition. If nothing else, making your platform smoother for your user. Why do I gotta if I have to comp something on Mercari, I can search the item and it says what's available and what's sold on a tab. I don't have to go to a drop down menu, show more, and then hit sold items. Then I can see it. Only if I search it in the app and not if I search it this way. You know what I mean? Why can't I just easily do that kind of stuff and navigate through?
Right.
And how much of all, and I get it when they're having you put in the item specifics, but who's gone back and looked at the platform now and said hey, is that really necessary? Is that bloatware? Is that something that we can kind of purge from the platform and, make it a little leaner, a little smoother, and make the experience better for
I don't know. Things have been fixed over.
Yeah, I completely agree with eBay has the traffic. I mean, they can put your item in front of huge eyes. But what's going to happen with eBay? eBay needs to quit chasing Amazon, so to speak.
Yeah.
Put in the catalog their items and make eBay should be eBay. I mean, back whenever eBay was eBay, and you're selling secondhand goods, and that's what people's going to look for. The only downfall of eBay is going to be eBay. I mean, they're the only ones going to stop themselves. But
that's your shoe.
What?
That squeaky noise.
I think so.
God, I hope so.
Sure. Check under your chair.
But yeah, eBay's got to just understand, their eBay and what their goal is, and then, I mean, they'll keep flourishing.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely Mercari, Poshmark, and I was going to put the heat on them a little bit to change, and I think that's what we're seeing now is, their website and the coding in it, I've heard, so old, that it's so hard for them to change and reform things. Yeah. So they're just trying to take it one piece at a time and do something. But I agree. I mean, eBay has crazy traffic numbers. I mean, you ask anybody in the world just about where can I find something, name off something, eBay. I mean, that's just, everybody knows eBay.
I mean, our reselling brothers and sisters over in Australia, all they know is eBay. There's no Amazon. eBay is their Amazon. So,
yeah, everybody knows eBay.
Mm-hmm.
I love eBay. I just don't like listing.
Yeah, unless you're doing a challenge.
He also says,
it just jumped.
No, scroll down. Also, having a dashboard helps. 100% it helps. Sure does. Yay, I called a live show. How's everyone doing? We are doing fantastic, Mr. Eric. Hope you are as well. I found a belt buckle with your name on it, Eric. Didn't we?
Yep.
Sure did.
Solid brass.
We was about to chase that squirrel. Sure enough, we was about to chase him. It's horrible.
Don't look at me.
Hey, Sam, hold on. Let me pause for a minute. I got something to show you real quick.
His butt must be going numb.
That ain't what I was going to show you. I promise. I wasn't going to show you.
Okay.
Check that out.
Hey.
Yeah. It's time.
Hey, George. Hey, where's the Georgia fans and the Clemson fans and the?
Oh man, I should have.
Don't y'all wish y'all had a coach this good? I mean, one day maybe.
I should have pulled out my signed Mark Ingram.
And then I got this one too. Hey, I got one of them too, Mark Ingram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent that to my brother. Found them at a garage sale yesterday.
At a garage sale? Get out of here.
Sure did.
Dude,
I mean, I've been finding all kind of Alabama.
I mean, they don't have the certificate of authenticity, but.
Oh, they're real. They're real.
I mean, whatever. It's real.
Yeah, whatever.
It's real right here.
There went that squirrel again. We just jumped right off the train and went after him.
That's all right. It's fluid.
Oh, man. Let's see what she says. It's so hard for huge corporations to make changes to their infrastructure. It takes meetings upon meetings for them to do the smallest upgrade. That is 100% true. And I mean, it's got to be okay by so many people. I mean, there's all kinds of boards and review boards for these changes, and then they got to test it, and beta test it and all this. And then there's the whole hurdle of, can their equipment I don't know how it is, deep down in the computer coding, can it handle these upgrades? So then they may have to rewrite all that, whatever that is.
He's not very tech savvy.
I don't know. I know they say they can't do certain things.
Yeah.
And then what they'll do is they'll wait around to the start of fourth quarter to roll out all this stuff, and then it just crashes everything, and then it's horrible Christmas time.
Yep.
Squirrel.
That happened last year.
That's right. Well, it's like Lorena says, they're servers, So, I mean, that's if anybody who's into reselling and they think about taking it for real. Like, I love reading, so Lean Startup is a really good book to read about. And it just talks about.
Did you say you love reading?
I love reading.
Bless your heart, buddy.
I love reading too.
I love reading, man. Readers are leaders, bud.
If they ain't no pictures in it, I ain't looking.
Bro, so I'm like, I have bipolar, and there was one year where I read 186 books. Like, I just could not put them down. I was just going for a book a week, and I went way too far.
I can read a book in 3 hours.
She goes through 3 books in a day, man.
That's awesome, though. But Lean Startup, check it out, and it talks about that. How companies, when they start out, if they can figure out how to stay lean, it's like a car. The bigger, the clunkier it is, the less agile it is. So when big things happen, let's say like with COVID, it's easier for a company to pivot and maneuver. So how many small-time eBayers were able to pivot into, retail arbitrage instead of going to the thrift store because things were closed.
Right.
So, whereas like if you were a bigger team, it might be harder to do. Like for people who's got a warehouse, like that's hard to do.
100%. Well, I even heard somebody that you hear people. I was watching, I think it was a Bearded Picker I was watching, and that old guy Grumpy was talking about, because he's got a pretty big operation in our eyes, but it's small compared to, bigger corporations. And he says it can take them like a week just to change their tape, to figure out going from 2-inch to 3-inch tape. So, I mean, something that small in a company that's, kind of medium size, but you expand that to a company like eBay and then having to change, their fee structure. I mean, that ain't gonna happen quick.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way, but it needs to happen.
That's right.
Sounds like my husband. He hates it when we go to a restaurant and he has to read the menu. Your husband sounds like my kind of friend. Except we don't go to restaurants. We go outside of McDonald's through the drive-thru.
Not always.
And they don't have pictures of everything.
Hey,
No.
ask her where I took her for our honeymoon.
Crystals.
Oh,
like
fancy. Wow.
Man, I was okay with it.
I said, hey, we can get 12 of them jokers for like $8.
Hang on. We were going to go to a restaurant called Jefferson's. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Yeah.
Like a sports bar.
We were going to go to Jefferson's. It happened to be that city's prom night. So we weren't going to wait in that line. So we went ahead and just went to Crystal's.
Well, there you go.
However, I should say this. I got married, and 2 days later for our honeymoon, we went to prom.
You went to prom?
Right. Yeah.
Dang. I'm not surprised because I lived in Alabama. Like, my first neighbors were like newly married 18-year-old kids. Being up north, I was like, why'd you do that?
We got engaged one day, got married the next, went prom the next, and we left for Colorado the next day.
That's why I love you guys. No funny business. Like, just get straight to it.
Sweet, short, and to the point.
Yeah.
And then a week later, we was buying storage units in the mountains.
Sure was.
So have you anything like that, storage units or?
You know, I've been thinking about it. So my limitations are, for anybody who doesn't know, like I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment. I run my main business out of my spare bedroom already. You know, so in order to even just kind of grow the reselling part, I've had to do a storage locker. Fortunately, like, you know, with the baby, we just my wife gave birth to a baby 7 weeks ago. So all that baby stuff, all the clothes, you know, that's sharing some of that space. So I can't really commit to like a storage locker, but I have found a guy who likes storage lockers, and he'll go through it and he'll sell me some of the stuff. Like he knows what I like now. So he'll hit me up whenever he goes to a storage locker. And, you know, obviously I have to pay him a little bit more because he went through the hassle of getting it all. So, yeah, but I'm okay with that. You know, just to have a guy and pay a little bit more than I have to deal with the garbage. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Bye, Out Country. Thank you for stopping by.
We'll see you later. Thank you. I like that name too, Out Country. I got a couple questions for you. Actually, like real quick. I'm gonna shoot them to you quick.
Spit them out.
One, where's the Dapper Tiger come from?
All right. So the genesis of Dapper Tiger, sitting on my couch. Like I said, I've just found the YouTube reseller community. And I've been a passive viewer, a passive participant, you know. So when you look at the numbers, you look at 40, there's probably really about 20 people who are engaging. I would have been the other 20 that was silent.
Right.
And then I was like, you know what? These guys seem really nice. I really want to engage and talk to them. So I was just sitting around and I was like, you know, it'd be really cool putting a tiger head on the top of a tuxedo. So I slapped that on there and my buddy saw it and he was like, you should call him Dapper Tiger. Done. And literally that day, you know, I came up with it just sitting on my couch and then I just started, you know, I put it together and I started typing to folks and that was that. It probably took me another month before I, you know, got confident and comfortable enough to start putting out videos.
Yeah. I still do that a lot though. I'll still be the silent other 20, you know, just kind of listening. And usually I'll have it on either the phone or the computer. If we're in here working, I'll be over there listening or whatever and listening, you know what I mean? But
question number 2.
I done forgot. I done lost because I asked question number 1.
Well, I would say like I'm also silent now, but it's like different, you know, because it's not from a shyness perspective. I'm in the middle of doing something and I either can't commit to typing to folks or, you know, if there's an interview happening and I come in late, I think about what happens in like a real life, you know, you walk into the middle of a presentation. I'm not gonna be like, hey, everybody, what's up? Like, I'm just going to hang back and chill. And maybe when it's over, I'll say goodbye. But
right. I have found that because I took that first step in talking with these folks. Everybody in these chats are A+ grade people. They're the best folks you will find out there. And I'm so glad that I've been, good question. I've been wanting to know that. I was wondering, Dapper Tiger. Question number 2. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where are you planning? Are you planning on taking this reselling thing like really serious in 5 years? You just gonna keep doing it as a hobby?
You know, go ahead.
And YouTube, reselling and YouTube.
So I still foresee it maybe in 5 years, still a part-time gig because, you know, my main hustle is so good when you know, as far as like the money and the opportunity it provides my family, it's like the ultimate reselling, you know? So, for folks who don't know, like I run a farm, so it's the ultimate buy low. What's that? That's
question number 3. Let's get into that too.
Yeah. So I run a gourmet mushroom farm. So I sell edible like oyster, shiitake mushrooms. And I sell to local co-ops and restaurants. Just worked out a deal with a local supermarket. So it's just been, you know, providing folks with food and trying to feed people. And at my space right now, I'm pretty limited. So I'm pushing myself, you know, in my space to grow in that way. So unless my space gets bigger, it's hard for me to foresee, you know, growing reselling, let alone the mushroom business. Because where I would like to go, if I was to commit more time into reselling, I would have to automate my business and over the next 5 years. So I'm only 2 years into it. And it's taken me it's taken me a while to grow it and, build the connections.
You got to do what you're passionate about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
yeah, that's awesome. So how did you get into the mushroom business? Like, you just sitting there one day and said, "Hey, I want to grow shiitake mushroom."
Basically, so I mean, a little bit about myself. Like, for a little while, I had a problem with prescription pills. I had found out that I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and I was much older, and I'd never taken medication before. So there was a whole lot of like trial and error and stuff like that. And before you know it, I was hooked on some of this stuff. I just couldn't get off. And, I had a friend who helped me out and gave me some psychedelic mushrooms, and it changed my life, and stopped me. Like, I never wanted it again. I went from thinking about it every single time, like, as much as like you get thirsty, to, like, it was like it never happened. Like, it was just, So from then on, I was fascinated about mushrooms. I saw how much there's a dude named Paul Stamets out in the West Coast in Washington State. He works with like the Department of Defense. Like, basically, like, if someone drops sarin gas on us, like nerve toxins, he's working with a bunch of scientists in the Department of Defense to stop that. A mushroom spore like that they can drop that will, basically eat up the sarin gas before it even hits your lungs and save you. So stuff like that, working to basically rebuild our ecosystem, because like in the soil, if you see plants, there's fungus underneath, and even helping bees. Eric and I were talking to Ken Island Homesteader about this. Bees have a wing deformity that happens from a virus, and they're working on a specific strain of mushrooms that will attack that virus and save the bee population. So much cool stuff. And I just thought, hey,
I can tell you're 100% passionate about this, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
It probably helps meditating too.
I mean, that's just awesome.
Yeah.
Well, when you find a passion like that, something, I mean, you had an event that kind of changed your life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then you can pursue that. I mean, that's awesome. That's like the ultimate, like what everybody.
Well, that's always been my passion, man. Like, even if I'm not practicing anymore as a doctor, my goal, my purpose in life, what has gotten me, after the mushrooms and stuff, right, getting myself back on my feet, my purpose has always been to help people, beyond just like, holding the door for somebody, really, trying to impact somebody's life. And, whether it's feeding a family or, guiding somebody through a difficult mental and emotional, time. Even my videos, I may not be the most talented or the smartest reseller out there, but if you're watching my videos, at least for the 6 to 12 minutes you're watching, it can take away whatever negative thing is going on. I can hopefully inspire some good feelings and maybe even motivate you to go, sell something and reward yourself. So
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing with us. If we can make you smile or laugh, I mean, that makes everything that we've done worth every penny of it, and all the time into it and everything like that. But that is awesome to see that.
Louis has a question.
Who was the first few people you engaged with that you're still in touch with or maybe lost touch with at Dapper Tiger?
Like in life, I'm guessing.
I'm assuming it's with like reselling.
Life or reselling. Let's do both.
So in life, my best friend his name is Imran. If you guys ever seen Harold and Kumar, I'm Harold and he's my Kumar. Sometimes we go to White Castle, but he's been my friend since kindergarten. He was one of those, like, I moved away and we kind of lost touch, in social media like helped reconnect us. when we were back in college and stuff like that. So he's kind of been my buddy like throughout life, you know, and he's one of those friends where you might not talk for a year or so and you come back and it's like you kind of, you know, pick it up where you left off. So it's nice having friends like that. Let's see, as far as folks I lose touch with, I would say a lot, you know, it's like life. You know, I've been so many places and have done so many different things that like people come and go, you know, sometimes they come back in, sometimes they don't.
Right. Yep. I mean, that's just life, you know.
Yep.
That's how it is. What about in the reset? What got you, like, who impacted you reselling wise? Like, who did you first start? What made you want to pick up the phone and list something?
Gary V was really one of the people who started influencing me as far as sourcing goes. Now, as far as like selling goes, I mean, I kind of knew. I never really watched anybody, didn't really know kind of what existed. I looked into Amazon back in 2017 and selling books and stuff, and I had some success doing that. As far as Mercari, I just downloaded an app. You know, I had some patients tell me about it, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, I have this app I was selling stuff on." I was like, "Oh." And I had some video games to get rid of, so I kind of figured it out that way. When I got serious about it back in January, I had already heard about it from Gary V, who was doing Trash Talk, where he was going to garage sales and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, you can do that? That's cool." And I have like all these thrift stores by me. So my wife was already like, "Yeah, we go thrifting all the time out here." So once I fell in, then I was finding the Shed Flips, the Cincinnati Pickers, who else? The Craigslist Hunters, and then from there you started going into little pockets, and here I am now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed even here recently. Whenever I first started reselling, it kind of, when watching like people on YouTube reselling, I mean, it kind of, whenever you type anything in, it was kind of pushing me to the John, Cincinnati Picker, Delani.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the time, Matt Part-Time Pickers, he was still a very small channel, like in his first 2 months, you know, but he hadn't blown up yet. So I was watching him, and then he blew up. And then, you know, those type guys, the cornerstones of the reselling community, you know, Craigslist Hunter.
Yeah.
Well, since I've started doing YouTube and really diving more in depth into YouTube, you know, I'm looking like, I love to watch smaller channels like myself, you know, like, you know, under 5,000 subscribers. And
sorry,
I've come to notice, like, I thought that this community was all there was as far as reselling, you know, because it's, you go into a chat, it's, you know people by name. People come into your chat, you know those folks by name. But there's so many reselling communities out there that are, you know, and this one, the one that everybody, you know, always sees, and, you know, all of us, Lone Star Picker, Louie Larry, you know, Sweet Texas Spine, Big Texas Picker, all these people that make up this community. I mean, we genuinely care about everybody and like everybody, you know, and their well-being. But you go to some of these other reselling communities, and they're pretty big communities, but there's none of that going on. Like, it's straight buy the books, eBay talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. You know, no, you definitely. No, you go in this, you know, you come into chat here, you know, the first half an hour is like everybody saying hello to everybody. Right. You go to someplace else, you're like, "Hey, everybody," crickets. You're like, "Oh, okay."
Like, how you like pirate ship? You know, and but so many. And starting off, you don't see this because YouTube pushes you to these bigger channels. Yeah. But once you start diving into it, I mean, there's so many different reselling communities outside of our community. Yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm off on a squirrel, sure enough. I forget where I'm going with it.
I mean, I will say, I said this like the other day, right? It's like how lonely reselling can be for a lot of folks. You're the only one doing it. You're selling. You may or may not have a family member that cares about what you're doing.
We stay in his shop all day long. We have no friends.
Yep.
I mean, the only people we talk to is y'all.
Yep. Well, adults, right? Like, like besides your kids, you know, and that also share that passion for you, that you can learn from, commiserate with, someone that keeps you accountable, someone that, especially on the days when you're not strong enough to support yourself and stand up, just leaning on somebody, because it kind of sucks too if you're, I don't know if you're like this, if somebody in your family isn't a part of like what you're doing, when they're like, it's going to be okay, it doesn't really mean as much than if like somebody in the community who you think maybe gets what you're going through better, when they're giving you empathy and support.
Right. Instead of
right. And so I think like, being here, you asked me what my plan was for YouTube. It's to keep going, for as long as I'm interested in reselling. I mean, I love producing videos. I wish I could do it faster. But I love it, and I love being a part of all these, getting to talk to all these folks here. It's like coworkers.
Yeah, 100%. I can't, like, that's one of the, we started YouTube, ourselves, just kind of show our days, document them, and interact with you guys and gals. And by far, the best thing we could get out of YouTube is everybody in this chat, everybody that's listening, everybody we talk to.
Yeah.
I made great friends like Sam. We talked to Sam outside of, this right here. I consider Sam a good friend, A lot of people, and I've made good friends, Rev, Nikki T, Eric, OBX Picker, Johnny, Cajun Roots Resellers. And that right there makes all these hours of editing and, shooting this and doing the thumbnails. And, that's what makes it worth it for us. Cause we can't say enough great things about everybody. And
you think of the opportunities that come up, right? Besides all that, there's a networking potential, right? And what makes me think of this is like Mr. Buys a Lot, who just came into the chat. And yeah, man, if I just dropped a video where I had just met Brian and Pete, Craigslist Hunter, dude, just like being in their like orbit and listening to level, I'm worried about, finding something for $1 and flipping it for, more than $1 and getting my money back. This cat is like, yeah, I'm on vacation. I picked up a 14-foot long truck worth of stuff. And yeah, I'm going to sell what I can. If I can't, I can't. I'm like, So, Craigslist Hunter's talking about delivering a $20,000 book cross country. And I'm like, I sold a $5 game today. But
yeah. Well, it opens up doors, and you get to know people.
Right.
I know I watched a lot of Josh go to Mr. Buys a Lot warehouse, and he would buy stuff from him,
Yeah.
And they would have never met if it wasn't for YouTube. So, now there's networking going on where, hey, you got a surplus of this. Let me sell you a wholesale lot for this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
everybody helps. If you guys ever need stuff, go to his place. It's crazy. No, it's crazy. Just listening, anybody who has gone to his warehouse and has come away, it's like talking to a kid who went to Disney World for the first time. Like they're just like just overloaded and overstimulated by all the stuff that they saw. Yep.
And that's key in here. I've bought stuff from other resellers through YouTube. I've sold stuff to other resellers off of YouTube, And not only do you got that aspect, but a lot more about certain things than I do. I know some more about certain things you may not know. And like I'm all the time out of garage sales, and I'll see something. I may not know what it's worth, but I know I've heard that name on somebody's channel, so it makes me pick that up and look at it.
Then again, he goes, I don't know what this is about.
Yeah, like it says, networking knowledge is key to this business, 100%. And every one of us can attribute some part to somebody else to help them achieve that. At Redneck Resale, my husband and I went to our first estate sale yesterday and got some nice scores. You guys inspire us. That is awesome, Melissa.
Bro, that's what it's all about right there.
100%. Like there's so many people, like you think about selling on eBay, and most people are like ashamed of it, like, oh, you sell on eBay. They don't understand the sales volume you can make off of eBay and Amazon or Mercari. You know, they don't understand the work that goes into selling on eBay, Amazon. If you can show them, hey, you can go out to these places and you can take $10 if that's all you have, and you can make $50 off of that $10. I mean, it opens up so many new doors to people. It can, you know, stretch them out from going, hey, we don't have enough to pay our power bill this month, to being able to do that. You know what I mean? And that was one of the huge things for us. I mean, when we first started, I was going to college. We didn't have a lot of money, you know. And we started learning all we could on YouTube, you know, and then buying stuff. And then reselling has opened up 100 doors for us now, you know.
Yeah.
Chasing that squirrel again.
There he goes.
I don't know where we was going, but we was running.
No, but like it's I think it's true though, you know, especially in times like these where people are losing jobs. They may or may not get their job back. They don't know when they're getting their job back. You know, you can definitely, you know, if you have the capital, reselling is a good way to pivot. You know, if you can't, you could totally do things like being an Uber driver or whatever for a little while so you can get some capital up and then reinvest your money and being smart that way. But if you know how to resell, you pretty much know how to eat, you know, and feed yourself. And I think that's the important thing.
Right. And people that's just starting, you got to understand, you're watching these big channels. They're not showing you their, you know, they're even when you watch our channel, we're showing you what we want you to see. You know what I mean? So you may not always see the bad buys. You may not always see, I just lost $100 on this item. You know what I mean? It happens to everybody. If you're new, I mean, you're going to go to 15 sales and strike out. I mean, that's just part of the game. You're going to lose money on certain items. Don't get discouraged by that because you're not seeing people on the YouTube showing that. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, you're going to struggle. It's a real struggle. It's a grind. It's work. You're going to lose money. You're going to make money. I mean, you got to keep at it and keep learning.
Well, you know, and you think of how many of these reseller skills that we acquire that translates into real life, right? Just the ability to negotiate, man. When to stand your ground, when to stand up for yourself, you know, when to know it's a good deal and when to walk away from a bad deal. You know, I feel like that can, your ability to communicate already kind of guarantees your success in life. So why not, you know, and then learning how to value stuff, right? Because we buy and sell stuff all the time.
When you first start, I mean, it's normal. Like I was nervous, you know, if I only had a small budget, I was scared to death to spend $100 on something. I mean, you're scared, you know. I mean, everybody's scared, ain't they?
Sure, man.
Now I can go out and drop, you know, I could do a $5,000 deal, and that would still be a nervous part of me because that's going to be in everybody. That's human nature. But I would know if I'm going to do that, I'm smart enough to have researched. And I know I'm going to make my money back, you know, more than likely. I would feel better going into the situation.
Don't think he goes around and spends $5,000 because he don't.
No, I don't. Mainly because I haven't found that deal yet. But if that deal had arrived like Mr. Buys a Lot, I mean, he knows from his experience, you know, how to move stuff, what he can move. And, I mean, he just does it and goes, you know.
That's it. Well,
I'm showing my good with the bad in all my videos. Yep, that's how we are the same way. We want to show the bad junk, you know. We want to show I just bought this thing at a yard sale and I dropped it and broke it, you know. I mean, everybody does that kind of thing.
It happens.
And everybody, my favorite, hold on, what was that? My favorite saying in life is, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That is a wonderful song.
I like that.
Sure is.
Did you just say song?
Yeah, it's a song.
It's a song?
Yeah. You gotta stand. Yeah. Sure is.
That's what happens. He'll talk to me sometimes, but my head is always in a book, so I don't always catch everything you said.
I don't
know
everything I say.
So, you know, it kind of goes in one ear and then out the other. And he's like, "Have you listened?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm listening."
Trust me, I rabble all the time. Christina's like, "You talking to me?"
You got that memory, you know. I learned that in my college class, echoic memory.
Yeah. And
I'll say something, I know she didn't hear it, but then I see her memory echoing back what I just said, and it pops in her head.
Yeah.
It may take me a minute, but I'll catch it.
Goodness gracious alive. Well, if anybody y'all got any more questions for Mr. Sam Dapper Tiger, I know we was kind of all over the board, but that's all right. We had a good time.
That's good. I had fun.
I'm glad everybody is telling me it's a song. I'll have to go listen to it.
Aaron Tippin's what they saying.
I guess I have to do.
Don't listen to it now. I don't want you to get demonetized.
Nah, I'll wait. But if it puts me to sleep, I can't help it, y'all.
So, Sam, do you have any announcements, anything coming up you want to let people know about?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't already, go ahead and smash the like button for these two. I don't know why you haven't, but do it. Go ahead and do that.
Sam's video and smash the like button as well as the subscribe button.
Yeah, hey, Sam is great, people. Like I say, I talked to him outside of the YouTube a little bit. He's a great guy. I mean, he ain't gonna be blowing.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're right.
At you, if you are thinking about Mercari or reselling, go check him out. Awesome feller. And he's got an awesome Alabama sign.
Yeah. So this is courtesy of the Redneck Resale here. So
because them Bama boys got to stick together.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, as far as stuff that's coming up, I was trying to go 2 times a week with my video drops, but I totally underestimated this baby thing. It's taken up a lot more time than I thought. So realistically, as far as like my production value goes, I can only stick to once a week. It's been working out for me. Let's see, what software? I use Final Cut Pro. So I use it on my MacBook. I'm trying to actually upgrade this computer. It's like, I'll render a video. It's like, it's like coughing. But yeah, I'm gonna. It's once a week. Try and drop every Thursday, and it's a little bit about Mercari. It's a little bit about my reselling journey. A little bit about life. So hopefully you guys can. The baby's been little glimpses of the baby. I'll drop it in there. So
awesome. Yeah, Sam's great, people. I would recommend him to anybody. His editing, he may not put out a video but once a week, but his editing skills, that video is, just outstanding.
That's above my knowledge level.
Sure is. And
it's all learned on YouTube, man. It's all learned on YouTube.
Yeah, I hear you. So we're going, I know this is kind of an announcement. Me and Courtney will be traveling up to Chattanooga for the 127 yard sale on August the 6th. And we're going to be staying in Chattanooga the night of the 6th and the 7th. And we're going to be going south one day out of Chattanooga and north the other day, I'm assuming. We're going to be up there with Rev Resale and Nikki T.
As well as Eric.
Picker. OBX Picker. So if any of y'all are in the area and want to meet up, we all down for that. We'd love to meet a bunch of you guys and gals.
Yeah, just hit one of us up on Instagram.
We'll be staying right there in Chattanooga somewhere. And like I say, that day, so any of y'all, I don't know what days we're going to be heading north. I know we're going to try to run into old school Picker Chris up there. Maybe some more guys, and then one day we're going to be coming back south.
Just don't expect to meet us up on the 6th because we're going to have a late start leaving here.
Yeah.
I have a doctor's appointment.
She got a doctor's appointment at 1, and then right after then, we're going to head up there.
First.
We'll be up there late that night probably, which Chattanooga ain't that far for us, maybe an hour from there. So we'll be up there fairly early in the afternoon.
It's going to be awesome, man. I'm excited. To see what you guys do.
I'm excited too. I want to take over Rev Resale noodling.
Me and Nikki G push out in the creek.
We won't be able to do this thing. We're going up there strictly to hang out with them and go yard selling. So it's going to be a great time nonetheless. And then right after this live show, sometime this evening, we will have a video dropping from our garage sales. Sometime.
We're doing it today or tomorrow?
Either this evening or tomorrow. I don't know. Can't never tell. And hopefully here before long we can get more consistent with our videos. These past 3 weeks have been kind of crazy for us, so we can get back on some sort of a schedule, maybe.
Mhm.
And Miss Amy's epic stuff for sale says, guys, I think she means you.
You guys.
You guys are great. I love down to earth resellers. Dapper Tiger, Mercari has been getting to be great for me also.
It's awesome, Amy. That's awesome. Keep it up. We
Sure
appreciate
is.
you.
Sure is. Like I say, I can't say enough great things about Sam. If y'all want to know about Mercari or
have any questions, just go to Sam's channel and
or
ask him.
selling mushrooms. I mean, anything in life you need.
Not shrooms, just mushrooms.
Mushrooms, the legal kind.
Did you ever shake Nick Saban's hand?
Yes. Well, I was like, Coach Saban, like I used to, we were on the practice field. So, and this was like when he had his old complex and then his new complex too. After winning like 5 national championships, they're like, he's like, I want a new one. They're like, okay, how much? $5 million. Okay. So yeah, this cat, talk about, all right. So quick story, right? There's an apartment building that used to overlook the practice facility. Nick Saban worked out a contract that in your lease, if you were caught with a camera, if you were caught looking, recording anything out your window, automatic termination, no questions asked of your lease. Bye. Like they were not having no funny business there. But talk about state of the art facility. A lot of those guys, if you don't know, who will come back from the NFL to go to these collegiate facilities to train and practice and recover on their off season because they're not paying the athletes, so the money's got to go somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they got that new one down there now. It's pretty.
Oh, man. Dude,
I'm hoping there's fall football this year. I'm just got my fingers crossed, man. That's Mr. Sean. What up, y'all? Good to have you here as well.
Everybody's coming in just whenever.
Yvette says,
I don't know. There's a bunch of different.
I seen it a while ago, something about she watches the replay and congrats on the family news. I seen it somewhere. I know I seen it. Thank you.
It's all over.
I'm assuming she means the baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people may be behind.
You got any family news, Sam?
My family news is 7 weeks old, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But he's still a handful, isn't he?
That's the future Alabama quarterback.
We'll try some noodles.
I have.
I went with a professional the other day, and we're kind of getting late in there, and it's kind of the end of the season, so they're not real as aggressive.
Yeah.
And the first vlog we went up to, he said, all right, go in there and stick your hand in there. And I did, and that joker bit me.
Yep.
He grabbed me on the hand, but it was quick. It was so fast and unexpected. By the time it did that joker was hitting me right in my face, trying to get out that hole. And he got on by me, but at least I felt one. So
I didn't go because I didn't want to get in the water.
Getting close.
Well, I mean, being pregnant, I don't want to get no river. Don't tell me.
Okay, I'm going to chase a squirrel for just a few minutes.
Here we go, y'all. Hold on.
Let's go.
Have you ever watched that show, Monsters Inside Me, on Animal Planet?
Yeah.
You know, they talk about these brain-eating amoebas and
parasites,
parasitic infection you can get from these jokers. So I'm out here
paranoid.
And, I mean, that's all I can think about. I'm going to get worms from this water, you know. And worst case scenario, that's what I'm thinking. And this cat had a big old horsefly land on him. And I was trying to film, and I thought, should I tell him he's got this big old biting fly on him, or should I film his reaction when it bites him? You know, that's what I was thinking.
Honey, down here, people in the South get bit all the time.
So I'm this cat, and I said, hey, you got the horsefly on you. That horsefly flew off of him. I mean, just beeline straight to my arm and bit the fire out of me. So I took a Sharpie and I circled where he bit me, and I'm thinking I got a worm now. I mean, you can't ever tell.
Squirrel all the way.
One of them.
No, what Frank says, just don't pee in that river, man.
Well, I don't know. I've read a lot online, and when you're pregnant, it's all the bacteria in the rivers
Planet,
and
man.
stuff.
They talk about these things. Super rare infections, you know. But I'll be watching them. And I swear, I'm like, man, I got that symptom. I got that symptom.
He's one that Googles it and everything turns to cancer, and then he thinks he has it.
I got a lung flu. But anyhow, thank y'all for coming out. If y'all haven't subscribed to Sam, go show his channel some love. He's a great, great guy. And
See you guys.
Yeah. And we'll see all you guys and gals on the next one. So
That'll probably be next Sunday.
See y'all.
Bye, everybody.